opens, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Because now that I think of it, I remember in Baltimore I tried to do this as well, and it just didn't work for some reason. It just wouldn't go live on my channel. You know. In fact, I don't know what's going to happen if I exit out of this, but I think I'll go ahead and I will. Hold on. Excuse me. Let's see real quick here. Let's see real quick here. Chat. Let's see. I don't even know if my shit's still going. Oh shit, yeah, I'm live. Okay, perfect. I guess I'll share this to my Twitter real quick then. One moment. I gotta hit my Discord as well just to be sure. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. There we go. Nobody watches my streams anymore anyway. Oh, what's going on, Zach? How's it going? No, actually, correction. Nobody watched my streams in the first place, so you know, I'm walking around Boston, just hanging out, you know, just doing my thing. I'll go ahead. I'll turn the camera the other way. I'm just kind of testing this out, you know. I'm not going to be like Mr. IRL streamer or anything like that, but you know, I'm gonna every now and again, you know. I just happen to be in Boston, and I'm not with anybody right this second. I got to meet my wife in a little bit, but I figure, hey, might as well do this. Can't complain. What you doing in Boston? Got some stuff I got to do. I can go anyway. The first thing I'm doing right now, what I'm actually on my way to do is go see the library, because I talk about my Civil War ancestor every now and again. I figured out a while ago, and I've been meaning to check it out for a long time, but there is what's it called, a monument. There's a monument to his regiment in the Boston Public Library, which is one of these buildings. I'm not sure which. We're gonna figure that one out. We're gonna figure that one out. I heart milk. So I've been talking a little bit more about me being involved in some stuff years ago, Fogo de Chão. That's a Brazilian restaurant. It's kind of a nice one to my understanding. But oh yeah, Copley. I actually I had my prom my senior year in this area, but yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, dude. I didn't just have my prom. I had my prom in this area like a month, like a month and a half after the Boston bombing. You guys remember that? That was insane. That was the craziest shit I've ever seen, you know? But yeah, I was talking about how I used to be involved in some shit back in the day, and part of that shit was stickers. Something that is like, it's honestly kind of stupid. I recognize how stupid it is. Would you look at that? Would you look at that shit? Fuck that. Fuck that. Hold on. Hold on. I don't give a fuck how stupid I look. That's Christ, you know? Defiling Christ's image. I ain't gonna let that happen. Might be a little bit too tall for me, but at the very least I can rip it off partially. Yeah, maybe I can come back with a oh, hold up. What are you doing to Jesus, Scott? Now I'm gonna have to come back with something to scrape that off, because you know, I don't give a fuck how weird it looks. That's Jesus's image. I'm not gonna let that, you know, I ain't gonna let that just like chill there. Specifically, it's Jesus with tattoos on his face. I don't know how well you could see it. Jesus with tattoos on his face, and there was a pentagram on it. So it was very clearly like a fuckhead Satanist thing, you know? You know, I'm going to come back here and get that after I'm done checking out the library. Plus, like I said, maybe I can find something that will help me out. Graboonie attack. Yeah, it's Jesus tatted up. Yeah, you know, that's not cool. Like, when it comes... Oh, shit. Would you look at that? I'll have to take a walk around there. But what I was saying, right, is... when it comes down to it, when people mock Christ, I don't get upset. The reason why is because it's their soul, not mine. Now, if you ask me my opinion on it, yeah, that's disgusting. You should not do that. But it's not my soul, you know? I hope everybody is able to come to their senses in one way or another, you know? I hope everybody gets into heaven at the end of the day. And I mean everybody, because I wouldn't wish hell on anybody, because that's something that none of us can... No, like it's unfathomably bad, you know? And but at the end of the day, like, if there's something I can do right in that moment, I'm gonna do it, you know? Someone mocks Christ to my face, I'm gonna be like, shut the fuck up. Someone puts a sticker like that up, I'm gonna see if I can tear it off. Unfortunately, I'm a short king. I just needed an extra inch of height, just an extra inch of height. And I would have been there. But like I said, you know, it's also tough because those stickers stick hard. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'm not going to sit here trying to rip it and failing. I'm just going to see if I can find something that's going to help me out later. I'm not sure if this is it. I suppose we'll see. Excuse me. Yes, here it is. This is it. It's nice in here. It's excuse me. It's nice in here. It's nice and air conditioned. I want to be as respectful as I can. You know, I don't want to be one of those IRL streamers. It's like causing trouble, but you know, it's a library after all. Yes, here it is. So, Massachusetts infantry, right? We'll go ahead, we'll take a look at that real quick. These, hold on. Got this right here. Those guys were in a different corps to the 20th Massachusetts, which my ancestor fought up to here, Fredericksburg, the first day of Fredericksburg. There's actually a YouTube channel called Warhawk that I talk about every now and again that they do really good videos on the Civil War. And I'm really excited because their next video is Fredericksburg, and they're going to be doing a regimental breakdown of the battle. So I'm going to get to see my ancestors' regiment's movements on the day. Man. Boston has been ruined by this. Look at the ceiling. Yo, that's made with love. That's not just made because they needed something. They made it because they loved it, you know? And it's unfortunate that nowadays when things get built, they get built just like commie block style, but this is beautiful. I'm gonna take a quick picture of this. Wondering if there's anything on the back. Probably not. Yeah, nothing. Come on. Nope. Damn it, bro. Sorry, I gotta figure out my phone here. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm really proud to have a grandfather that was a part of history in this way, especially with what happened at Fredericksburg. They actually, at Gettysburg, they stopped Pickett's charge. They moved from their original position to a position to stop Pickett's charge. And if they didn't do that, Pickett's charge might have actually succeeded. You know, there was a big gap in their line that Pickett, it was more than just Pickett, but like the Confederates in general, they saw that big gap and they were like, oh, let's seize that gap to try and divide them. And, you know, when the 20th and some other regiments noticed that, they rushed. It ended up becoming like a race, and they ended up getting there in time, you know. But, you know, Fredericksburg, and then they don't have Savage's Station on here, which is interesting to me because I read their regimental history by guys that were actually there, and they said, yes, we were at Savage. And also Malvern Hill. They didn't really do their, like, defining moment. You know, they cleared the town. Having been there earlier this year, it is especially crazy because you get to see Fredericksburg, right? The historic Fredericksburg, really small. Like the streets are small, the houses are clumped together. Not a whole room, you know. So like, even though my ancestor was wounded there, it's like to know that he part in that, to know that he took part in, you know. My entire life I've always prided myself in being able to be a part of things that were good and that were historic in a sense. That's what caused me to join the cause that I was talking about earlier about the stickers and stuff like that. You know, and then I'm also very happy to be a part of Fish Tank in the way that I was. But, you know, knowing that there's other Sullivans out there that were also a big part of history in that way is, like, crazy to me, you know? I almost don't want to leave. But I know you guys are probably sick of seeing this, you know? It probably means a little bit more to me than it does you guys, so I'll head on out, you know? Mark Wahlberg is from Boston, I think, so go hang out with him. Dude, I'm gonna hang with Mark. I'm gonna hang with Marky Mark, kid. Yeah. I almost just made a joke about that thing he did. But the company, if you know what I'm saying, was they would not have been too happy about that. At that time, it's good how proud you are of your family's history as warfighters. I don't have enough information about mine, but the little I do know about makes me sad. And, you know, I was thinking about this yesterday, Zachary, right? Like, I think it's important for everybody to kind of know about that stuff to the extent that they're able to, you know, because either one, you're going to find inspiration and you're going to find things that are, like, good. You know, you're going to find that you're standing on the shoulders of giants and that it's your responsibility to continue that on. You know, it's your turn to do something great, you know, or you're going to find things that it's like, ooh, not a big fan. Oh, excuse me. Not a big fan of that. Wow, that sucks. I can't believe great granddad did that. That's awful. That's terrible. Blah, 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 you know, and at that point, it's not time to be like, oh, that sucks. It's time to be like, no, I'm going to be better, you know? It's like I said, I hope everybody goes to heaven, man. You know, I hope nobody gets left behind. I hope nobody goes to hell. I know that's not a realistic thought, but I can hope. I can wish. I can pray, you know? And I'd like to believe that if your ancestors went to heaven and you died and you went to heaven, you'd go up there and you'd meet them and they'd be like, hey, you did good, you know? We did bad, but you did good. And for that, we thank you. You know, I think that's I think it's important to have that line of thought because if oh, excuse me, that Boston air, nothing else like it, huh? Oh shit, that's a John Hancock building. I don't really hang around Back Bay like that. I'm more of a Commons North End kind of guy. you know? So like walking around Back Bay, I haven't been here since I was like young. So I'm like just remembering like, oh yeah, fucking there's the John Hancock right there. That's the tallest building in Boston. Then there's the Prudential Center right there. But yeah, this is the public library. Man, that sticker is still bothering me. I seriously might go and take another swipe at it because I really want to, like, I can't leave it fully intact at the very least without like without some kind of you know, I can't in good conscience look at that and be like, oh no, it's fine. You know, I got to at least like try and rip it off halfway or something, you know. But what I was saying is, like, as autistic as it is, I still look at stickers on poles because, for one thing, there's some pretty cool art there. Even though it's like postmodern graffiti tier bullshit, you do find some cool shit every now and again. And I also wonder about like the story behind it. It's like, oh, wonder who put that there. Wonder how they came up with that. Wonder how this happened. Wonder how that happened. You know. But then in addition to that, there's still a piece of me that like that looked like shoe nice right there for a second. But also, like I was saying, there's a piece of me that is like I'm still kind of in that, where it's like when I see some commie sticker, when I see some like left-wing bullshit like pride flag fucking whatever sticker, my first thought is, oh, I should take that apart, you know, I should take that down, you know? Like, that's my, like, has-been way. That's my, like, old guy way of still feeling like I'm 22 and I have nothing to lose and I can waste time getting into political fights with people and stuff like that, you know? But yeah, it was right here. If I can at least oh wait, nah. See if I can at least tear off that part. If I can at least tear off that part, then the rain will take care of it. But it's like I said, I'm not gonna sit here like for 5 hours trying to rip that one sticker down, but also it's a sticker of Christ that has tattoos and pentagrams on it. So, you know, fuck the Satanist to put it up there, and also I'm gonna make sure that that thing doesn't stay there, you know, whether it's me or Mother Nature that takes care of it. But we'll go ahead, we'll cross the street and we'll check this out now. Oh man, it's hot out, dude. It's mad hot out. And I'm also out of shape, so pardon me if like you hear me like heavy breathing every now and again. I am losing weight though, like in a real way, you know. I finally figured it all out. I got the diet down pat, and I'm like, my body's changing day after day pretty much, you know. So that's good news. That's good to know. I used to love seeing some good art on the side of trains. Some of it is pretty incredible, even though it's vandalism. Yeah, like it's really cool, you know. But it is like it's not that it's like you're not allowed to. Get me out of here. Get me the fuck out of here. I gotta get out of here. No, but like, it's not that you can't like it, you know. You see something cool, it's cool. That is what it is. But like, there is something to be said about like, oh, people are just doing that now, you know. Like in a city, it's a city, so that's just kind of what happens, you know. But it's something else when it's like if I saw that in my hometown, which I am seeing that more and more. I'm seeing more stickers put up in my hometown and all that other stuff. if I saw that in my hometown, I'd be like, oh, shit's getting pretty bad here. Not because it's like, oh, stickers, oh man, but because I know people just don't give a shit anymore. They don't give a shit about like clean, sightly sights. They're just like, oh no, let's have tacky shit everywhere, you know? Like, you can have tacky shit in a city and it's not that bad for you, you know? Well, not that bad for you. It's just not that bad in general, you know? But, like, your hometown, you got like a lamppost with tons of stickers. It's like, ugh, that sucks. Nice cathedral there. I was gonna just walk this way, but I guess I can't do that. I gotta meet my wife. Sorry, I'm actually, one sec. Sorry, I'm just figuring some shit out right now. Gay people put gay stickers everywhere. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's the way it goes. The New Order exploded. The old world and the infrastructure that remains is hidden in plain sight. Yes, you know? And it's crazy because, like, let's say for one reason or another, they had to tear this building down, right? It's not like anything has to change. They still have the space. Everything's all good. But they wouldn't build that. Even something like this. It's like, it's not out, the exterior, at least, is nothing to write home about. Oh, look. We got pigeons eating. The exterior isn't anything to write home about in terms of, like, I mean, even next door, right? But it's just sheer laziness. It's just sheer commie, unimaginative, by the numbers. We need a building, comrade. We will build a building, but it will not be with that capitalist je ne sais quoi, whatever word you would use for it. No, it will be a marvelous communist, brutalist. Like, it'd just be, just because they're fucking boring and they're lame. That's the worst thing about commies, dude, is they're boring and they're lame. And they trick people into believing that they're not boring and they're not lame. And as soon as they get any semblance of power, you see brutalism, which there aren't any examples here. But if I showed you Bawston City Hall, you'd be like, oof, ouch. Go ahead and look up Bawston City Hall, and you'll see. You know, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It sucks. It's trash. And it's because trashy people decided they were going to make a building. And you can only make what you are, you know? Fucking beautiful people make beautiful things. Ugly people make ugly things. That's just the way it is, you know? There's no arguing. But I think it's about time to move on. I don't even know exactly where I'm going because, like, I'm waiting to meet my wife. And like I said, I don't hang around Back Bay that much. So I'm just like, what should I do? I'll walk back up towards Back Bay Station for a second. You know, see what's going on around there. Brutalism is everywhere, yes. Driving and listening, but can't see whatever cool shit you find right now. Just drive safe, bud. It's not possible for me. The government's changed people's names and shit to protect actions. Only ever heard my grandfather tell one story. I'm already a lot more advanced than my ancestors. Grateful, says Zach. Yeah, I mean, you just got to try your best, man. You know, that's all you got to do. Just try your best. Do what you can. It's like my slop content lately when I'm like playing video games and I want to listen to, like, you know, something stupid in the background has been Boondocks videos, specifically like what's it called, oh yeah, like Boondocks analytical videos. Like I said, it's slop content. It's slop, you know. But one of the things in one of the episodes, right, that it's talking about is Huey. He goes to his grandfather and he's like, hey granddad, what do you do when excuse me. Trying to remember the exact. It was, what do you do when you can't do nothing and there's nothing you can do? And his granddad said, you do what you can. You know? That's exactly it. Damn. I'm burping and shit like that. That's all you can do, is just try your best, you know? If you take one step, that's one more step than anybody else ever took. So, you know. What's would you look at that? Would you look at that? We got ourselves a see, that's the type of shit you used to see. That's the type of shit we used to do, is like you see a commie sticker, you either peel it off. I have a collection of the ones that I've peeled, and I have them from different cities that I've been to and stuff like that. I'll show you guys one day. But you either peel it off or you cover it over with your own. And since the left is fractured over the last 2 to 3 years since the whole Israel thing, you're seeing like leftist sticker wars where you know, you'll see like free Palestine and someone will like cross it off and say fuck Palestine, and then like somebody else will throw a sticker on it that's like, oh, free Palestine, and then somebody else will throw one that says like fuck Hamas and all that other shit. I don't even know where I'm going right now. Ah, yes, good old Boston. I love that skyline, baby. I love that skyline. There's a Peach Boy official. There's a crazy sticker or tag war in Eugene right now. Oh, dude, I can only imagine. You know, like Oregon and Washington are like they're Antifa havens. Like, if there was gonna be a second civil war that was similar to the original Civil War, it would be Oregon, Washington, California, and then potentially some, if not all, of the New England states. Some people say, oh, dude, New Hampshire's based. Not for much longer. Not for much longer. People from Massachusetts moving to New Hampshire, they're going to fuck the place up. You know? Oh. I'll let you guys get that one. I'll let you guys get that one. But, yeah, you know, it's just, it's crazy though, you know, like, I remember how bad it was here, and I remember thinking, man, like, Eugene, Agent Vosh, Secret Writers Society, Nonstop Funk. It's, I don't know if you guys can hear me very well with all that wind. Give me a second, but like, I remember thinking that like the Antifa around here paled in comparison to what it was even in like New York, you know? You had like New York City, where like that's a big Antifa haven, but also New York is a huge city, so you can, you know, I haven't been to New York, so I can't really talk in the way that I was just about to. I caught myself and I'm like, nah, I'm talking out of my ass there. But even the way New York is pales in comparison to Seattle, Washington, to Eugene, Oregon, to Portland, Oregon. Like, it's insane. The amount of like everything they have. That's why Chaz formed there. That's why Chaz was able to form there, is because of that. Just in case, oh, excuse me, jeez. Just in case you guys wanted some squid facts there. I don't know where this cough is coming from. I got like a smoker's cough, and I think it's literally because I'm fat. They say obesity is the new smoking, and I 100% believe them, because like after I go for a run, I will cough as though I am still smoking cigs. I'll have like a smoker's cough. It's the craziest thing. It ain't fun, guys. Don't let yourself go, you know? Keep control of your life to the best of your ability, and don't do too much. You see, there's another one. I think they're both shitty, so I wouldn't mind peeling all of them to add to the collection. But like, you know, I'm in the middle of doing something with you guys right now. I already tried the blasphemous Christ one. you know, and I couldn't get that one off completely. I ain't gonna bother you guys making you look at nothing while I try and peel a sticker. Stop consuming grease, but it's fun, Quirt. But it's fun. Nah, it's like a lot of fitness shit is just cope from what I've learned over the years, you know. Like I've gone through phases. I've been in really good shape. I've been in really bad shape. Obviously, I'm going through a phase where I'm in really bad shape right now, and that's not good. But like, an example I'll use is like sit-ups, right? If you go to any personal trainer, they'll be like, "Oh, dude, sit-ups aren't good for you, bro. Dude, sit-ups, no. You don't want to do sit-ups. They're not the best way to work your abs." And it's like, yeah, but they're the easiest way. They're the most convenient way. They're the way that doesn't require me to make sure I have 5 feet of space on all sides of me. So you're gonna have to excuse me if I just stick to sit-ups, because I'll be honest with you, leg flutters, not a big fan of. All that other shit, not a big fan of. That's funny. Somebody already tried to peel it. For some reason, they had a hard time. I'm just curious, though. Yeah, fuck it. But, like, because of that, whenever someone tries to tell me anything about, oh, would you look at that? You see what I'm talking about? Five bed, 3 baths. That's pretty crazy. Those are prices for Mission Hill Apartments, I guess. But yeah, because of that, whenever a fitness guy tries to tell me not to do sit-ups, I tell him to shut the fuck up. Because if I don't do sit-ups, I'm just not going to do ab work. That's literally how it is. And because of that, I don't want to hear, like, as a dude who's into fitness, call me a fitness guy, say I'm not, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I've been doing the fitness thing for a long time. I'm just in a lull right now. But like, work is better than no work. And it's better for you to do something that's not a million, trillion, gazillion % optimized. That is not harmful. As long as it's not harmful to you, it doesn't matter that it's not a million % optimized. It literally, none of it matters, you know? And like it's just frustrating, you know? And diet is one of those things too, where it's like, I'll be honest with you guys, for a little while I tried to find, that was an awful noise. For a while I was trying to find a way to be able to still eat junk food like all the time without having to worry and stuff like that, but that's just not the case, you know? At the end of the day, we've known what works for thousands of years, you know? And oh, look. That's our boy right there. That's our motherfucking boy. But, oh, I want to see how close I can get before he... Nah, dude, it's cool, bro. It's cool. Hell yeah, bro. No, but, like, we've known what works for thousands of years, you know? Everybody knows. It's just, it's weird. It's stupid, you know? Planks are keno, though. Planks, I will do planks, but not as like ab work necessarily, more like endurance. It's more pain tolerance is what it's about for me. That's really what planks are to me. Like, yeah, sure, they help with the abs, but like for me it's less, hey, I want ripped abs, so let's do planks. And it's more, hey, I want to work on pain tolerance. I want to work on not quitting as soon as I Tech Bros want you to believe they figured it all out. They didn't. But yeah. What was I saying? I started thinking about the Tech Bros for a second. Started thinking about the Tech Bros, and I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. But like, that's another thing about working out is like, I think you have to like all of this. Oh, it's a street gang. They're coming out to kick my ass. Yo, look at them. They're just coming towards me. Oh no, they stopped. Oh. Anyway, that's another thing about working out that I kind of had a revelation of like a couple years ago, is like if everything is too optimized, you're doing it wrong. Because man, that's what that's for, so that you don't walk right in front of the dudes that are coming out. I see what it is. We'll get away from the sound for a second. Just realized you guys haven't seen me in a minute. I'm greasy and shit like that because of how hot it is. It's cooler around here now though. I'll take a seat right here for a second, but what I was saying is, like, I think that when you have a situation where you're working out and it doesn't suck, I think you're doing it a little bit wrong, right? Now, like, it's one thing to work out for aesthetics and stuff like that. I get it, fine, you know, whatever, you do you. But, like, as someone who works out, not because I want to look good, but more so because I just want to make sure that I can run a mile without, like, having to sleep for 6 hours after the fact. Working on that right now. But as someone who is working out for functionality, if everything doesn't suck to a certain level, I'm not getting everything I need out of it. Like, yeah, sure, my body might be improving, but if I'm not able to withstand being in the fire, you know, because that's what being in a fight is like. It's like being in a fire to a certain extent, right? I'm just like looking around, like trying. I feel vulnerable having my phone out like this, so like I'm kind of looking around, making sure that, like, you know, nobody's about to run up. But like that's what an MMA fight is like. There's not a single moment of an MMA fight that is not stressful, you know, that is not like you're constantly, all the time. What's around your neck? Oh, it's my backpack. If you have one of those string backpacks, you wear it like this, it's not going to get stolen as easily. Plus, it's easy. It's just easier to manage too. Seen any congregated yet? Yeah, I've seen some congregated. Yeah. Airsoft Scotty. Oh man, dude, Airsoft Fatty probably weighs less than me by a lot right now. Yeah, the bottom line is, like, when you're getting ready for an MMA fight, everything has to suck because the fight is gonna suck. You absolutely positively need to make sure that you are gonna be prepared for that kind of thing. And if you're doing everything as optimized as possible, geez. If everything you're doing is like the best way to do it all the time, it's like you got to kind of do it in the way that hurts more. As long as it's not like genuinely going to damage you, as long as it's not bad for you, you know. You have to go for a long run in boots on the beach or something like that. You have to do tons of sit-ups because activating your core in that way is going to be better for taking a punch and things like that, right? You have to do it that way, even though if you went to a fitness guy, they'd be like, oh no. And then the other piece of the whole fitness thing is that fitness guys are trying to sell you something. They want to sell you more personal training packages and things like that. So if there's something you can do for free at home, they're going to tell you, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Do the thing that you're paying me to tell you how to do. And only do it when you're here with me, you know? Whenever I try to explain this, hold on one sec. Sorry. All right. I had to shoot somebody a text. I got a call from somebody. But whenever I try to explain my thoughts on this, I do a bad job of it. Maybe I just need to make a video on it or something like that. I don't know. But like it makes sense, at least the way I see it, right? It makes sense, you know. Greg is making bread. Yeah, he's doing real good. I'm really proud of Greg, you know. He's doing really well for himself. I remember he said he wanted to build something independent of Fish Tank, and I thought that was a good idea. It's fucking thunder, dude. Is my day going to be ruined by thunder and lightning? Is that really what's about to happen? I'm going to be so mad if it is, because like I was looking forward to this all week. I'm going to be so upset if that's the case. I'm hoping that it holds off. Hoping everything's going to be all good, but I don't know. I don't know, man. You know. But yeah, like I wasn't sure how it was going to go, you know, but Greg took a risk and it paid off, and good for him, you know. Because like if there's one thing that has become clear, it's that only certain people are going to be able to make only certain people are going to be able to have a following off of Fish Tank, and it's going to either be really weird dudes that are like, there's a freak show element to it, which like I'm not saying that to denigrate, it's just kind of the truth of the matter, is that like there's a certain freak show element to what's going on the Fish Tank site right now, and I know that they're aware of it. They're not stupid, you know. Or it's going to be people like Letty, right? You know, girls, not bad looking, have a certain personality that simps really latch onto. Like someone like me, I would have a much harder time. It's not impossible, but I would have a much harder time doing that. You know, I tried it and it didn't work for me. Oh well, what you gonna do? You know, I have 16 whole viewers on my stream right now. That's not exactly a e-boy status over here, you know. But then like with, you know, Greg is in the same boat. But what Greg did was he found ingenious ways to get people to want to watch, and that's really good for him, you know. So like, all in all, I'm really proud of. I gotta get away from that noise. All in all, I'm really proud of Greg, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. You know, because that creativity, it's only gonna grow. You know, he's only gonna get better with it if he keeps on feeding it, if he keeps on nourishing it. Oh man, trying to keep an eye on the time here. I'm trying to think of what my next move is. You know, I wanted the stream to be about an hour, but it could be less. There's thunder and lightning out. I have to meet my wife somewhere, so I kind of want to get there quicker. But I'm gonna try something here. Do a goth makeup stream sometime. Yeah, like Blunts and Capri Sun. It's Skitsy _VA, SKIZTY _VA. Oh, excuse me, on YouTube. You should definitely check that out, you know. I don't know if you guys heard that, but fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like that's the way that I would have to do things, and I just don't have the time or the energy to do that. Is like have more like special events on my channel where it's like, oh hey, me and some cool people are getting together and we're having a little bit of fun with it and stuff like that, you know. Like it would have to be stuff like that, and it's like I said, I just don't have the time and the energy right now. I'm kind of yo, I wish I flipped my camera around, but I just passed a dude who looked exactly like Adam Friedland for a second. What I was saying though is like, I'm not saying like I'm done. I'm not saying I'm going to be done with YouTube, but if you guys haven't noticed, I don't upload weekly or bi-weekly anymore. Whoop. I don't know. You guys definitely didn't see. I was like way in here. You know, I'm sitting here like this, like not even realizing. Yeah. There was just a bolt of lightning right there. But I have things IRL that are forcing me to go in a direction that does not include constantly uploading to my YouTube channel and thinking about like, hey, who can I hit up to see if they want to stream this weekend? Hey, what can I do? What can I organize, you know? I got other shit that I got to do, you know. I'm a married man. I'm trying to have a family sooner rather than later. So I'm going to have to. There's like no choice for me but to kind of step away from this whole like e-boy thing, at least enough as to where it's not going to take a... Whoa. Is that his son? Whoa. Anyway. But yeah, like... It's just the reality, you know. It's just how things go, you know. Alex B and Bert Beef. I'm sure. You know, I don't want to hold on. Trying to figure out what's going on, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, it was good to come in and see the monument, you know. I'm so happy that I got to see the monument, but this is really, really annoying. It's raining out now too. It's raining. That sucks, man. Yo, what's going on, Spencer? How you doing, man? I'm doing all right. As I can be. I came into Boston and it's raining, so I don't even know what I'm doing right now. And people don't know how to drive. I'm not sure if I'm going to meet my wife or if my wife's coming to meet me. But yeah, like, one thing that I've been frustrated by, if I'm being honest with you, ever since I kind of became like a semi-public figure in that way, is the obsession with clout. Like, you're not allowed to just have a YouTube channel for fun anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first started my channel, I was like, dude, like, I have a great idea, and I had a great idea, but that idea could not come to fruition because of things that were in the way of that, you know? If you see the kind of videos that I was making in the beginning and the kind of videos that I was talking about wanting to make, that's a lot different from the things that I put out now, you know? Excuse me. But, like, probably about a year into it, I realized, like, what am I even doing, man? I'm not even having fun doing this. I'd rather just have fun with it. And if that means I make content nobody wants to watch, then whatever, who cares, you know? But the way I see some people, and this is a pitfall that you got to be careful of, you know. I'm making a mistake by doing this, by ever reading anything anyone ever has to say about me in comment sections or on Twitter or anything like that. That's a pitfall of mine. But, like, there's this weird thing where people treat it like you have to be Mr. Beast, and if you're not Mr. Beast, well, you're a loser and you have no clout and all this other stuff. And it's like, it wasn't about that for me, you know? At least it's not now. I could give a fuck, you know? I got 12 whole people watching my stream while I ramble in the middle of a raining city. It's like, I know that's not Asmongold tiered content or anything like that. It doesn't have to be, because I'm not that concerned with it, because I have other things in real life that matter to me. Would you look at that? Can I zoom? I can zoom. Would you look at that? Proud, standing tall in the rain, unaffected. Such as a stoic man should be. You can always talk back. You can always talk. You can always come back to this stuff later, get your business set up. Oh yeah, for sure, you know? Like, when you know how YouTube functions on a business level, you realize how easy it is to set up a winning channel, right? Now, you have people like Brandon Buckingham, like Tommy G, people like that, who they really, really put it all out there. You know, Brandon going to fucking O Block and getting shot at and stuff like that. Like, that's one type of content you can make, and I'm sure it's really fun and exciting content to make. But then you have the flip side of that, which is the Turkey Tom style of content, which, like, you know, Tom does whatever he feels like. You know, I see Tom traveling. Oh, there was just lightning there. Tom does whatever he feels like. I see Tom traveling around all the time on Instagram and stuff like that. But his thing is not, oh, I'm gonna go travel. His thing is, no, I'm sitting my ass in the house and I'm making formulaic content that I know people are gonna eat up, you know? And then there's in between that. There's stuff in between. There's stuff outside of those two poles. You know, there's tons of stuff you can do at all times, you know? It's all about how you're doing it on the back end more so than the front end, you know? So, like, having been around these guys who have schooled me, in addition to just watching how they do things and things that I've learned on my own, if I wanted to, I could set up a channel. And I've tried to set up certain channels like that, but my heart is just not in it, and I have better things to do, you know? I've set up a couple of channels just fucking around. I've made some, like, slop content that I know people would eat up if it got picked up by the algorithm. And the thing is with those channels is that you can't just upload like 3 videos and expect millions. You gotta upload for like a good 3 to 6 months before you start getting any kind of minuscule traction. And it's gotta be weekly or more. And even then, like 3 to 6 months, that's like a really, really kind prognosis. That's not exactly what you would call the average, you know. Was talking about your martial arts business or whatever you said you wanted to do. Can't remember right now. Oh yeah, no, I want to do that kind of thing too. Oh man. But yeah, like, I know what you were talking about, Zach, but I was just referencing like coming back, because if I stopped this channel, I probably wouldn't come back to this channel. Even if I was going to go by my regular name, I wouldn't come back to this channel. I'd probably start something up new, because a dead channel is really hard to revive. It's almost easier to just start a new channel in some ways, you know. And my channel was never really that live to begin with, you know. There were some twitches, you know, some small signs of life, but those have dissipated. So yeah. Man. I don't even know what to do. This is the kind of rain that, like, I halfway expect to dissipate in the next 10 to 15 minutes, but also it might get worse. I don't know what's going to happen, you know? In fact, I should just check the weather report. Was that a fat cough? Yeah, it was a fat cough. Weather. We're going to the Weather app in my phone right now. Yeah, I mean, it's not in the right place right now, but it says 3 p.m. it's going to rain, 4 p.m. it's just going to be cloudy. Yeah, fucking had it. Ooh, no, but Boston says thunderstorms until 6 p.m. Then 7 p.m. cloudy with slight. Ah, man. Severe thunderstorm until Friday, 3:30 p.m. Ooh. That sucks. That sucks. Man. We could have went in earlier in the day too, but I had a dentist appointment and they took forever on that appointment. It's like, what the fuck? Man. I gotta stand up, walk around a little bit. I'm a little sore from yesterday's workout. I lifted for the first time in about a week and a half, and then I did circuits. So I'm not like fucked, but I am a little fatigued. I'm fatigued, if you will, fatigued. Waiting for my wife to answer me. Like, I can deal with the little rain. I actually like the rain. It's nice. I'd have to stop streaming, that's for sure, but I like the rain, you know? It's thunder and lightning that it's like, nah, you know? And we're in the middle of a city. We're in the middle of a city, so it's not like, you know, it's not like we're the tallest thing here, but I also don't want to chance it, you know? I don't want to take chances on God's wrath like that, you know? I'm all set. You see that? Look at that. Damn. Yeah, I'll probably call it in a couple minutes though. Like I said, I figured I'd stream for about an hour. It's been a little under an hour. I'll go to the hour mark, and then we'll do our thing. You know, we'll do our thing. We're doing our thing now. Just looking around. How many times have you told a fitness coach to shut up over sit-ups? Not very often, because I don't talk to many fitness coaches because I know they're full of shit, you know? Like, when you can do it yourself, you don't need to call a construction worker, so you don't need to listen to the construction worker tell you about the latest caulking that is better than the caulking you've been using for like 17 years or whatever, you know? You don't have to listen to that guy, you know? Like, you know where to look to find everything that is up to code. You know where to look to figure out what is up to code. I mean, you know how to, like, you know how to do certain things and stuff like that. So you don't need to talk to somebody like that. But if there's one thing that I find annoying, it's when there's an article on Facebook that's like written by some Reddit fitness guy. I smell weed. Who, you know, article on Facebook written by some like Reddit fitness guy who's like, actually, did you know sit-ups are not good for you? Did you know they're actually not good for you? They're not. You want to do Supermans instead. You want to do leg flutters instead. You know, it's like, I'm not, you know, part of it is the snark. That's part of the issue, is the snark, you know, that I'm not a big fan of. The live below this one is some deranged shirtless Mexican talking like a thug. Well, I'm a deranged shirt wearing Irishman talking like one of those. Benjamin Young, are you waiting for a car? No, I'm waiting for the rain to stop. I'm hoping the rain will stop so that I can actually enjoy my day in Boston, you know? As of right now, I'm waiting for my wife to get here in an Uber. In a fucking Uber, kid. Waiting on that Uber. I can smell weed. I don't think, like, I want weed to be legalized federally, because I invest in weed stocks. But I also don't think weed should be legal to smoke in public. I don't think that should, like, you're not allowed to drink in public in Massachusetts and many, if not most, U.S. states. So why would you be allowed to smoke weed in public, you know? Like, you can be drunk in public, you can be high in public, that's fine. But, like, the second I have to smell weed is like, dude, I don't want to smell that shit, you know? I smoked way too much of it when I was younger. It was not good, you know? And I'm just like, I'm all weeded out, I guess you could say. Fuck it. But yeah, like, it's just that classic thing. They lie about its, like, medicinal properties. They say, dude, it cures cancer, dude. Like literally, what it used to do for people who are on chemotherapy is it used to help them with their their appetite issues. Because when you're on chemo, when you're on heavy chemo, you don't want to eat. You don't have an appetite like that. So people, they smoke weed, and then it looks like the rain stopped. Nice. People smoke weed, and then they eat a ton of food, because that's what happens, you know. that slowly transformed from, hey, dude, it helps with glaucoma a little bit, I guess, and, oh, dude, it helps with hunger when you have cancer, dude. It transformed from that to, actually, dude, it cures depression. It cures depression until I have to smoke it again. And that's only if it doesn't give me anxiety. If it doesn't give me anxiety, I totally feel good until I'm not high anymore and I have to smoke it again in a little while. And then that even transformed into like, dude, it cures cancer, dude, it kills cancer cells. And it's like, no, it fucking doesn't. It straight up does not, you know? People say it helps with inflammation. That's CBD weed. That's not THC weed. So it's a situation where it's like, well, if CBD is the shit that helps with inflammation and things like that, why don't we just legalize CBD? No, man. No. You can't do it that way. You can't do it that way, man. No. You got to legalize THC. It's the biggest lie, even as somebody who invests in it, even as somebody who smoked a shit ton of it. I used to do dabs, not a dab. It used to be dab after dab after dab. I'd do 3, 4, sometimes 5 dabs. I'd go train with my boy, you know? Like, it was whew, crazy how much weed I used to smoke, you know? And man, I'm just thinking about how crazy it was back then, because there's things about weed, things about being a weed smoker you don't realize until you've been removed from it for a while. You know, it's like when people say, dude, I'm sharper on weed, and then they stop smoking and they're like, wait a second, no, I was an idiot. You know, there's a lot of things other than that too, you know. What was I gonna say? I don't think I'm actually at Back Bay Station right now that I think of it. I could be, but I might not be. I'm not actually like right out in front where I thought I was, but like I want it to be legal because it's I have a monetary interest in it, right? Like let's just be honest here. But for every other reason, I'm like, yo, I hate this shit. I wish it was not legal. if it makes sense what I'm saying, you know. Weed is really addictive. I don't go too long without it. Yeah, weed does something similar to you that heroin does. People talk about, dude, it all depends on the strain, man. Weed is like heroin's little brother. It's just not deadly in the way that heroin is. And even then, it can do some shit that's worse to you more often than heroin is even known to do. Like, you don't hear of people going insane because of heroin specifically, you know, like losing their mind and shit like that. You don't hear about that kind of shit. It just doesn't happen, you know. There's a lot of other things that happen, obviously. I'm not trying to say, dude, weed is worse than heroin, man, but there are things that it does to you that are the same as heroin, and there are things that it does to you that are just as bad as some of the things that heroin will do to you, you know? So it's like, what the fuck, you know? I was addicted to it. I know for a fact I was, you know? If I can admit to that, I don't know why anybody else can't, but that's the thing, is that I don't smoke it anymore, so I don't have that egotistical interest in it. My only interest in it is, am I going to make tons of money off it? Maybe one day. I guess we'll see. If not, whatever. It was a good gamble to make, you know? I think that was a good gamble. I think that was a good gamble. I just fall down. Just fall down. Great stream, Scott. Treat yourself to Pizza Hut later for doing a good job. Thank you very much, Quirt. Thank you very much, sir. I don't know if anyone's donated, probably not, but I would assume there would be some kind of notification or something like that if somebody did. It's not for everyone, and who is not Snoop Dogg. It's not even for Snoop Dogg, dude. I guarantee you Snoop Dogg is fucked. You know, like he's definitely not okay. He's not all right. You know, I know that. If the rain, I mean, look at this. Yeah, thunder, not fun, but I what's a Boston dish? Beans. Yeah, Boston baked beans are terrible. You know, like they call us Beantown and shit like that. Nobody here eats beans. Baked beans are awful, dude. It's like baked beans were the original goy slop. You know, baked beans are just they're not good. They suck. You know, I've never been a fan. I don't mind beans, just not baked beans. You know, molasses and ketchup mixed together and then thrown on mushy fucking beans. It's like, no thanks. You know, I'm all set. And it's not like, oh, I tried them once when I was a kid and I didn't like them and I haven't tried them since then. I try them every few years because I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll like them this time. Nope, never. They suck. Terrible. You know? But yeah. Clam chowder, you know, that's like a Boston dish. What else is a Boston dish? Yeah, like clam chowder. It's hard to remember. It's hard to think about, right? Because a lot of American culture that we have is like Southern culture, but there is a Northern culture, and I don't know if it's that it's just been suppressed in one way or another, because a lot of Puritan culture does kind of fucking suck, you know? And New England, even to this day, still has that tinge of Puritan to it, you know? That's why we are the way we are in certain ways. Even though it's known as like, oh, dude, Boston, Irish, Catholics, dude, fucking, no, there's still very much a Puritan Protestant kind of tinge to this place, whether we like it or not. And because of that, you have stuff like, again, Boston baked beans, which are like flavorless, gross, mushy, you know? You had something that was called election day cake or something like that, because at a time in New England, celebrating Christmas and any holiday was not allowed. So what they did was they decided, you know what, when we have elections, that'll be the closest thing to a holiday we have. So we'll have fucking cake on that day, and it was the worst cake you've ever heard of. It was like a fruit cake kind of thing, but worse, you know. That's something that they did. Like a lot of New England culture that didn't get that got buried, it deserved to get buried because it sucks, if we're just being honest here, you know. Lobster is definitely one. Lobster rolls, and that's one that that's not like, I would assume Puritans probably ate lobster at one point or another, but I don't think that's explicitly like Puritan, you know. The other thing is that a lot of New England culture goes back to England, where like even like our sea shanties, right? I'm into sea shanties. I'm into like folk music and stuff like that, not just Irish, but in general. And a lot of the New England folk music that we have is just English folk music that we took, and either A, we kept it the exact same, or B, we took it and we were like, hey, let's wow, the sun's out. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Never been happier to see the sun in my life. It ain't like out, but you know what I'm saying. It got a lot brighter. Like there's this one song, it's called Spanish Ladies, and it's a British song. And there is a version of it by a band called Black Irish Band. And they make a legitimate Massachusetts version of it, you know? They talk about Martha's Vineyard, they talk about New Bedford, which I live like 40 minutes away from. You know, I used to train out there every now and again because there was some guys that I was friendly with. You know, and like, that's cool. But like, other than that, New England doesn't really have, at least as far back as the Revolutionary War, it doesn't have its own culture in that way. It's just English culture that was Americanized in one way or another. And sometimes it wasn't even Americanized. They were just like, nah, we'll just keep this, you know? And, yeah, that is what it is, you know? Like, history is history. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Tomorrow's a mystery. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. You get what I'm saying? You get it? You get what I'm saying? But like it is a little bit disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it is a little bit disappointing. It is a little bit strange. You know, down south they didn't have that same thing because that's where a lot of Scotch Irish people settled, and they didn't bring that like stale British culture with them, or not even British culture, because that's the thing is like the Puritans were British, but they were not British like people in England, if it makes sense. Like the culture in England was different from the culture in New England during colonial times. It's because it's a shitty place. They were being persecuted by the crown in the first place, but then in addition to but like where you see like that southern culture dates all the way back to the Scotch Irish people settled in like in its pure form, not its new adulterated form, but its pure form. What it was supposed to be is so similar in multiple veins to Irish folk music, is because they're basically the same fucking thing in the first place. You know, people say blacks invented rock and roll. They didn't. It was the Irish, right? And not literally. This isn't me like being an Irish weeaboo or anything like that. But if you actually trace the history back, you see that the guys that people try and claim are like the progenitors of rock and roll music, they took what was given to them by the South, by people in the South who were descended from the Irish and the Scottish, as well as the British, right? And they put their own spin on it. So it's like, well, if we have to give credit to like B.B. King, for instance, for the creation of rock and roll, who are we going to give credit to for the creation of B.B. King? And does that mean more to the creation of rock and roll than B.B. King, or what is it? What are we doing here? You know? That's why I don't listen to anybody who tries to tell me that type of shit. You know, people literally sitting there like, oh, Ozzy Osbourne was cool, but he really owes it all to Thaddeus McJones, the famous black violinist. He carved a violin out of a hickory tree. Like there's always some kind of fucking talk like that, and it's just weird and annoying and stupid, you know. Fuck him. Know what? I can do a lot of push-ups. I hope we get into a self-defense situation. That's no joke. I'm not afraid of that, obviously, but I am kind of walking around like, all right, like how long until somebody listens into what I'm saying on one of these topics and tries to be like, hey, yo, that white privilege is shit, you know. I was supposed to stop streaming about 10 minutes ago anyway. Now I have that fat cough. I have that song Spanish. It's a good song though. It's haunting. You know, that rendition of Spanish Ladies that I was talking about. It's a haunting version of it, you know. Spanish Ladies in like the English version, it's very upbeat, it's very cheery, you know. It's meant to be sung in a bar where everybody's half cocked and they're having fun with it, you know. The Black Irish Band version of Spanish Ladies is haunting, and you know, obviously you sing it in the pub too, but it's a different kind of pub song. It's a different kind, and it's really good. I highly recommend you all look it up. Oh, excuse me. I highly recommend you all look it up. Stuck in traffic. What up, says Zachary Verad. Hope you get out of traffic soon. Rusty Corvine, New England sounds like a shithole, dude. It kind of is, honestly. And it wouldn't be that bad if you could actually survive here, but you just can't. And it sucks because I have that pride as a New Englander, you know. I have family ties that are here that fought for this land. Literally, I have British, like, I'm a mutt in the purest form. I have tons of different stuff, you know, tons of different European, that is, tons of different European in me. And one of my ancestors was a founding member of the country. He was one of the founding members of a certain area in New Hampshire. It was like the Dover, Rochester area. He was instrumental in the formation of that area. I don't know how close Dover and Rochester are together, but like I've seen his name associated with both of those places, and they're both in New Hampshire, you know, and I believe they're both on the same side of New Hampshire. You know, he fought in the French and Indian War, and then he fought in the Revolutionary War as a sergeant in what I believe to be the 2nd New Hampshire Regiment. But like it's just like knowing that I'm gonna have to leave these roots behind if I want to have. Ooh, there's the sun. There it is, baby. Hell yeah. Thank God. Really, thank God. But knowing that I'm going to have to leave this place where my family on all sides has roots for the most part that go back hundreds of years. The only family of mine that has roots that go back only 100 years are, what's it called? My grandfather on my mom's side, his grandmother came over. His grandmother and grandfather came over from Italy in 1915. So they've been here for about, you know, that bloodline has been here for about 110 years at this point. Like, knowing that I'm going to have to leave all that behind and start something new is like, it makes me sad, you know? It makes me a little bit sad. It is what it is. Like, they all had to do the same thing at one point. They all had to hop on a boat and go for a 6-month boat ride, eating salt pork and ship's biscuits and shit like that. They had to do the same thing, you know? But like, you know, it is what it is. There's a certain sadness that I feel because I do like Boston. There's nothing to do here, but I like being here. It's nice, you know? I like I'm having fun just hanging out here, talking to you guys, waiting for my wife. Like, I like Boston, you know? Sometimes I hate it, but for the most part, I like it. Man, but I think it's about a dog. Did I hear a dog? I think I did, but I don't know where he is. I think I should probably get out of here, partially to preserve some of my battery and stuff like that, and then also because I said I was going to do some other shit today too. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it, as you know. I will probably stream tonight as well. That was my plan, is to do 2 streams today. One of them was going to be the stream in the city. The other one was going to be the usual Friday night stream around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., somewhere around there. You know, it depends on when we get back. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And again, thank you so much for being here. You know, maybe I'll do stuff like this in the future. Yeah, I will catch you later. Peace.